All right, greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to the Crypto Truth, where I give you the truth as I see it. You know what? I probably should have looked in the mirror right before. Give me 1 second, you guys. I'm sorry. I literally just popped out. If you guys see some white stuff, it's because I was shaving. I literally popped out of the shower. Totally forgot to make sure I don't have any white stuff or anything around. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to talk about stagflation. I personally believe that we're on the brink of having stagflation. Now, exactly what is stagflation? Hey Google, what is stagflation?
According to Wikipedia, in economics, inflation is an increase in the general price level of goods and services in an economy. When the general price level rises, each unit of currency buys fewer goods and services. Consequently, inflation corresponds to a reduction in the...
Ain't nobody asked for that. Hey Google, what is stagflation?
Here's the definition of stagflation. Persistent high inflation combined with high unemployment and stagnant demand in a country's economy.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I personally believe that we're on an approach for stagflation, and by the way, in the cryptocurrency realm, this is just my personal opinion. You guys need to do your own research. You guys need to study, do your own thing. This is just my personal opinion. But in my personal opinion, the Fed is going to start reversing rates or start cutting rates maybe later on 2023, early 2024. This is from my own personal research as well, along with many other intelligent people that I follow. But I believe that stagflation is on the way. And I think that stagflation is going to continue or is going to cripple our economy. And that's the reason why. Now I'm going to put on the board exactly why I believe that stagflation is going to be a thing. Okay. And they're not going to be able to control inflation at all, because the federal government, especially because remember, in the United States, we're having elections next year. And there's a lot on the table. There's always a lot on the table when it comes to elections, but there's really a lot on the table in the direction that that Bitcoin cryptocurrencies are going to go. And I believe that the cryptocurrency market is going to benefit from stagflation. And I really don't want to be. It's a terrible environment to be in, but in the event of stagflation, the rich are going to get richer, and when the economy crashes, because the government raises interest rates, right, and we're going into a depression, an economic recession or depression, it really destroys the economy, which does not look bad, does not look good in the eyes of whoever's in charge. That's the whole reason why I feel like they do not at all. I hate to run this into politics, but really politics are involved with this. But let's get into the meat and bones as to why I believe that stagflation is going to actually be a thing, and that's not really a place where we need to belong in America. Now, right now, we're in two camps, and I don't think a lot of people understand. I'm going to make a little diagram here. Okay, I'm going to put the rich here. I'm going to put middle class here. And I'm going to put working class poor. Now, obviously, working class can be in the middle class as well. So, but there's poor working class as well. You guys look at the statistics. I'm not going to bring all these statistics up. So what are we looking at here? What do I feel is going to happen? Well, who benefits if the economy crashes? Who benefits if the economy goes into a recession? So let's say the economy. I'm gonna put this as a recession, a recessionary environment. I'm just gonna put RESS. And then I'm going to put inflationary environment and stagflation. So usually, when you try to fix the inflation, it may cause a recession or depression. I'm not going into all the history and stuff like that. You guys can do that on your own time. Again, this is my own personal view of the things that are happening and that are going to continue to happen. So I'm going to make a little thing here. All right. So there we go. All right. So who benefits in a recession, right? Who benefits? Well, the middle class definitely do not, put a check mark. The middle class don't benefit. The poor definitely doesn't benefit. And some of you guys are like, well, the rich doesn't benefit as well because in corporations, you know what? I'm going to put corporations here as well. That's very important because this is one of the reasons why I feel like we're going to hit stagflation and things are not going, and inflation is going, anyway, we're going to get there. And I do understand that these are not parallel, right? We're talking about different things, but I'm just bringing up because these aren't like equal, okay? So I want you guys to understand that I do recognize that. So these are not the same things. They're not in the same categories, but these are things that I just wanted to talk about. So basically, when you're in a recession, who benefits? The rich and the corporations. Now, you might say, well, you're in a recession. How is it that these companies get richer? Well, if you guys remember in 2008, now I'm a huge gamer. I'm a huge gamer. In 2007, 2008, 2009, and so forth, the economy crashed. Now, at the time, I was a server. Nobody was coming in. Nobody was buying anything. And I just sat there and watched a bunch of old ladies fight over a single table. It was really not a good story. Okay, so at the time, I was a server at Cracker Barrel. Now, I know that people were not coming in. It was very scary. It was like, man, it was like the world was ending, right? Nobody was buying anything. These corporations and a lot of the rich people, they're still making their money, but they got to cut out the middle class and the working poor. And that's what happens, right? And so during a recession, because of their assets are in the right place, the corporations and the rich, a lot of them, especially the ones that are in the proper areas, get richer. Healthcare, if you're in healthcare, you're gonna be richer. What happened? The video games, a lot of electronics, same thing that kind of happened when COVID happened, but it really happened, I feel like, in a greater way. In 2007, 2008, when the economy crashed, everybody was playing Guitar Hero, they was playing video games, it was all about electronics, and at the time, we didn't have the internet that we have now. And so, but we had computers, so that also went up. So the market in electronics was going up. And all of these corporations, Amazon, people started buying things off Amazon. People stopped going out. People finding cheaper ways to live. Like, it was just a really ugly situation. And what you have here is the corporations who are still, by the way, they a lot of times, you guys remember in 2008, a lot of the banks and a lot of these bad corporations got bailed out, and then they found out that a lot of them went on vacations and was what was it? One of them got caught. I forgot what it was, parasailing and just enjoying themselves, and they had like some videos and stuff like that. It was kind of crazy. But this is in a recessionary period, so everybody who's middle class or working class, it's not working, right? So the government got to try to fix this during a recession so we can get out of recession. So what do? They bailed out the banks, they bailed out all of these people, and they said, okay, we're going to continue to have the economy work again, to operate in the same way and make it a fine oil machine. We got to keep that machine going, right? And so that's like, okay, well, we're just going to give people money. Now, we also know that doesn't work, but what happens here? Who benefits when everything happens and inflation starts to happen, like just the economy is heating up and everybody has jobs. By the way, I do not believe this is a great system. I'm just telling you guys exactly why I believe that stagflation is going to be a thing, and that why the rich are about to get richer in two different scenarios. Because if we do enter a recession, the rich are going to get richer simply for the fact that they're waiting for prices to tank. They move their assets. This is all about education, people. They move their assets and they start buying up real estate and they start buying up everything. It's happening all over again. You guys are about to see this, okay? So we're in an inflationary period. Well, who benefits from that? Who benefits when everybody starts making money, right? Oh man, everything starts heating up and stuff like that. Guess what? The middle class is not it's not benefiting the middle class. I'll explain why in a second. It's definitely not benefiting the working poor. Why? Because the wages that they make are not keeping up with the inflationary economy. So your wages for the working poor, your wages are going to continue to stay the same. And what you spend at the grocery store, which is what we're having, what we spend at the grocery store is way more. We're going to spend more on eggs, and well, not me because I have chickens, but some of you guys going to spend more on eggs, and you're going to spend more on milk, and you're going to spend more on all kinds of things. Why? Because these corporations and these rich are gouging your eyeballs out. So they're going to use that as an excuse. Now, we know that this is happening. Now, that is not the total reasoning as to what is going on, but that's part of the reason. So we got two different things happening here. We got the working poor, the working class and middle class not really keeping up with the inflationary economy, and we got the middle class here. Now, I feel bad for the middle class. Let me tell you why. Because you're working your ass off. You educated yourself. You went to school for 4 years. You went and got your bachelor's or your master's for 2 more years or whatever you did. And you get into a situation to where you worked hard for your money, and all of a sudden we have rules and regulations to where you are getting taxed the exact same as the rich and the corporation. Matter of fact, you're getting taxed more than them, statistically, because there's so many hoops that the rich are jumping out of with not paying taxes. So who benefits in an inflationary environment? The rich. And the poor middle class, they're trying to work hard to keep their assets. Maybe they just bought a house. In an inflationary period. Now, let's say you've been working, you've been saving your money for 15 years or 10 years. You were 25 years old. Now you're 35 years old. You and your girl, y'all save up y'all money. Y'all did the right thing. You have good credit and everything. And now all of a sudden you're in this environment, and it's not going to happen because guess what? It's inflation and the economy is heating up. Housing prices are going up. Who is going to be able to buy anything in this environment? The rich and the corporations. They're going to continue to buy up real estate. And we're over here in the state of Florida, where in the state of Florida, the housing market is hot. And it's cooling down a little bit. But what can you do? Because if the government starts printing out money and starts and puts on the printers again, and everybody's making money, nobody's going to be able to make enough money for the inflation, even now. So what happens is we're going to have people, by the way, I think the minimum wage is still, it's like $10 or something like that. It was like $7. I mean, it jumped a great, it's just a lot going on here. So with the working class, a recession, it's not going to work. If an inflationary environment, because we're in this now, I understand that an inflationary environment causes a recession. Now, again, like I said early on, these things are not equal. Okay, they kind of run hand in hand with each other. But we have this thing where the middle class, you've worked hard, you're in an inflationary environment. Now you got to wait for the economy to cool down. But here's what's happening, people. There's a great divide between the middle class and the working poor and everybody else. And we're talking about the top 3 to 10% of people, especially here in the United States of America. And they're going to continue in this environment. When we hit a recession, they're going to move their assets over and start buying up a lot of property and different things like that. And they're going to be good to go. Meanwhile, in middle class, good luck to you. Poor, at least with the working class and the poor, guess what we have? And I'm saying we because I'm kind of sort of in this area here. We have benefits, right? Now, a lot of people don't think about benefits, but there's some benefits through the government to kind of sort of even things out, and the rich are not happy about it. But who really should not be happy about all of this is because the benefits do not, now all of these hardcore benefits and everything to help does not help the middle class. It helps the working poor. And so some people are like, wait. Or even the poor. Why would I have a job? And even if I do have a job, work hard, get to the next level or next 2 levels, and now I got to pay even more for healthcare. Now I got to pay even more for a house. Now I got to pay all of these things. And guess what? Everybody, and this is what happens, everybody starts looking at the corporations and the rich, and they're like, how are they doing fine in this environment? Well, it's simple, folks. We're going to get into that after we finish this chart here. Then we have stagflation. And this is why I feel like we're going to enter into a stagflation environment. Because when you're looking at the inflation is going to go up. Inflation is going to go up, and the federal government is going to continue raising rates as far as they can. And what's going to happen is that the working class doesn't benefit for this because now they're losing their job, which obviously is the point, is because they feel the government feels like the federal government feels like they need to cool off the economy. Now, ain't that a bitch? You're trying to tell me that my hard work and everything that I do, I got to lose my job to cool off the economy so these people can get richer. That's what you're saying. And if you're telling me that, well, no, the corporations and capitalism, and by the way, I'm not getting into the whole, I don't want to get into word salad about corporations. I don't want to get into word salad about capitalism, socialism, and communism. I'm not getting into that because it's a whole nother deep subject that I do not want to get into. But we can if we want, but I'll just end up pissing everybody off. So everybody on every side. I'm not happy with the system that we're currently in, and I'm not happy with the solutions provided from either side of the aisle because nobody is taking a second and taking a break to think about these things. But before I go off on a rabbit trail, like I usually do, I'm gonna try to stay on point here. So in a stagflation environment, we know that, well, working class, well, some of you may have a job, but guess what? Inflation is continuing to go up. Why is inflation going up? Because the economy, why is it that our money isn't purchasing the same thing? Our wages are not going up. And by the way, ain't this a bitch? Your wages, even if your wages go up, it's just going to put you in the middle class. And once you're in the middle class, you're going to lose a lot of benefits. And you're still going to have a hard time to make it to a level to where you're comfortably living. We're going to get into that as well. So why does it benefit the rich and the corporations and the poor? Why does it benefit? You guys seeing a trend here? I'm just letting you know. You guys see a trend? Maybe a little bit. Because at the end of the day, we're so used to saying, well, this is how it should work, and everybody would have a job, and everything will be great. The world is continually changing. Our lives are continually changing. Society is continually changing. We have to be able. Our rules and regulations and the things that we have are old. They're not keeping up with the change of environment. The rate of change for all of these rules and regulations, and we're going to talk about cryptocurrency in just a second, because all of this applies, all of this comes in to cryptocurrency. When we take a look at all of this stuff, we see that, hey, really, in any environment, the corporations and the rich, they're looking after each other. The federal government is looking after the stock market, all this kind of stuff. And they're wondering why stagflation is happening. I tell you what stagflation is happening, because we have a divide. Because the corporations and the rich are going to be able to survive in every single environment. Doesn't matter what it is. But guess what? The working class, the poor, all of these people on this side who are earning their wages, who are putting in their hard-earned time and energy just to be able to survive, you get zipped. Now, I'm not talking about the lazy, I almost said it. I'm not talking about the lazy people out there that don't want a job, don't want to do anything, all that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of narrative that we give, is that everybody just doesn't want a job and everybody just want to be lazy and stuff like that. No, that is not the case. The fact of the matter is our world is changing so fast that we cannot keep up with not only the people, the population. You guys look at every single high population areas, and you guys see that the rules and regulations and the solutions that they have is not working. The justice system is not working. It's just not. We're still trying to go by, the SEC is still trying to go by the Howey test. It's not working with cryptocurrencies. It's just not, and it won't, and it never will. And they're trying to fit it into something, and they can't. I stated this before, and I state it again. They won't be able to. They won't ever be able to, because once they have a definition, now, because cryptocurrencies are so fluid, cryptocurrencies can bounce can be a security start off and cannot be a security and then be. So now we got all of this fluctuation stuff going on, and the federal government like, oh, I don't know what to do. The SEC, excuse me. The SEC is like, oh, I don't know what to do. No, that's not the case. These people are not idiots. I guarantee you they're more intelligent. They're more smarter than I am, at least on paper anyway. But it is clear to me that the SEC is saying, whoa. I'm going to tell you guys what I think is going to happen. 10 for a hat moment time. They're like, oh, this is not going to work out. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and we're going to tell the American people it's bad, it's evil, they don't know what they're talking about, all this stuff. They can't study, they don't know how to do their own research. We are going to look after them, and we are going to save them. And what we're going to do is we're going to stretch that narrative as far as we possibly can until FedNow comes out. And now when FedNow comes out, we're gonna create this bottleneck where everybody's like, oh, well, you want to cash out on cryptocurrencies? No problem. You're gonna cash out FedNow. I'm just saying. They want to have a CBDC. Is leaning towards having a CBDC, and this is one step further to having a CBDC. Just saying. Now, FedNow is not a CBDC. Let's not get it twisted. But that's what they're leaning towards. That's what they're trying to do. By the way, this is a direct competitor to Ripple, right? So we got Ripple coming in, and Ripple is saying, whoa, what's going on? No. We're charging you with security laws, all this kind of stuff. I'm going to tell you about XRP, Ripple and XRP. Well, XRP specifically is going to go up. XRP is going to go up because the SEC is losing, but the SEC knows that they're not going to win. This has all been a game to say, hey, you know what? We're going to create a product called FedNow in order that they're pushing this out. I don't know if the judge, to me, it doesn't take long to get to the bottom line of things, but we all know how the court system works, which is inefficiently, by the way. And trust me, I, of all people, should know. But you see how inefficient it works. It's just a game, people. All right, tinfoil hat moment off. The SEC is playing a game with the American people. And the moment that they charged the Ripple, they knew what they were doing when they charged Ripple with having XRP as an unregistered security. And they knew that they were going to be in for a long fight. This gives them time. Everything is about time. And there's one thing that I notice about time. People don't have any patience. We go through this every single 4 years. Bitcoin is trash. Bitcoin is rat poison squared. Bitcoin is going to zero soon. Well, guess what? It hasn't. And guess what? It's been what? 13 years? 14 years? It's been a long time and it still ain't going to zero. I'm waiting for it to go to zero, people. Because all of these people who are extremely intelligent are telling you that it's going to go to zero. You can't listen to these people. They're not trying to help you. They're not trying to educate you. They're trying to use you to create a narrative that they want. And people be falling for it too, easily. Human beings, if you touch their gentle, if you touch their sensitive part, they can be used because they're making decisions emotionally. And unfortunately, a lot of people who had XRP had to make a decision. Well, man, I got to get out of here. I either got to have what do they call it? A ledger, or I got to do something with it, right? And so either that or you had to sell it. Like, you know what? This is not going to work. I'm going to sell my XRP. So anybody who had $15, $20, $50, $100, $200 in XRP, they sold and put in some other token or coin. Like, hey, I'm just going to get rid of it. So just saying, people, you guys really have to pay attention. We all have to pay attention. Now, also, just a disclaimer, I'm not an economist. I don't know all the deep stuff, like the really, really deep. You know, we got all of these numbers up here and, you know, the stagflation 2%. And, you know, I don't read stocks and I don't read charts and, you know, that we got the head, shoulders and the knees and toes. And you know, in 3 years it's going to go up. And then we see that the trend is no, here's the deal, people. You have energy, you work, right? You use your energy, you work. You put in so you can earn something. Where is that something going? Is it going to entertainment? Is it going to movies? Is it going to wherever it's going somewhere. Are you putting it in real estate? Are you saving it up? Where in banks? Whatever you're doing, your energy is going somewhere. So there's really, when you think about it that way, everybody has skin in the game per se. And so when we're looking at, going back to this, when we're looking at a stagflation environment, obviously the middle class and the working poor are going to get screwed. Who wins in stagflation? Well, actually, I'm going to be honest with you. The rich and corporations win in stagflation, but it's not by that much. That's something that nobody wants to do because there's no real clear winners. Like, everything just kind of But here's the thing, that our economy, that all the governments, that all the countries in the world have not got it together yet. The greed, the amount of greed that's crippling this world. The amount of greed of wanting more. They want more energy from their people in their countries, in the government, and they don't want to give out, they want to give out very little. Matter of fact, let's talk about something here. Let's say the federal government says, you know what, we owe how much? $30 trillion. We're going to put $30 trillion back into the market. That's what we're going to do. You know who is going to be happy? Everybody is going to be happy at first, but let me tell you what happened in 2007, 2008. All the money started rolling back into these companies and organizations. And they started getting greedy again. And now we're back in the same place. People, it just keeps happening over and over and over and over again. When are you going to get the message? I just want to know. Now, I said that I was going to talk about cryptocurrencies, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So, I like writing on this board because it kind of gives me some guidance, and it kind of reminds me not to jump all over the place. But one of the things I want you to understand is that when it comes to cryptocurrencies, there's a lot of people who are confused about cryptocurrency, especially over here in America. Now, I know over in Asia area, over on the eastern side, they pretty much got it. They understand it. They're just trying to control it. Over here, they don't understand nothing. And that's kind of embarrassing. Because the energy that you provide are not high priority. As long as they're getting paid, as long as the stock market, you notice how everybody talk about, oh wow, the stock market is doing well. Everything is going great. But the people who are working are not being able to survive. They don't care. They don't care. No country, and I'm going to get back to what I was saying before while I write this down. No country, and so far, no first world country no country so far has been able to properly take care of their people because of greed. None. There's not one single country that I know of, first world country, powerful country, that I know of where everybody's like, man, I want to go there because guess what? They take care of their people. And they got a great justice system. Now, I say justice system for a reason. Because justice, having a proper justice system will, I kind of think logically on this. They talk about, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and they're bad and they're ripping people off and it's only for criminals. And we need to stop that and we need to, get rid of it. I have a single question for anybody out there. And please tell me if I get this. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Am I to believe that you can control Bitcoin, altcoins, and different cryptocurrencies running on different distributed ledger technologies that are zeros and ones, and you can't stop people from coming over to the border that you don't want over here? Or drugs, for that matter, that you don't want over here? And yet you're supposed to expect me to believe that you can control this, which is just numbers and zeros? Don't make any sense to me. You can't control it. And that's the problem that they're having. So this narrative that they're having about criminals using it, guess what? They're not. By the way, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, they take up the valuation is $1 trillion? We're looking at things like $500 trillion. You're going to blame the economy for a $1 trillion asset over $500 trillion assets that can actually move the economy? I'm just saying, last time I checked, you know what? There's those people that, there's a glass of water, there's a lot of water in there, and they're like, there's not enough water. And then all of a sudden, there's a drop of water, just a teeny tiny drop of water comes into the glass. Oh my God, there's too much water. Really? Because that's what they look like right now. All right, running over. Going into Bitcoin. As I stated before, Bitcoin, to me, please do your own research, is a store of value. And it will continue. A lot of people, it's like, it's going to be a currency, and it's going to do this, and it's going to change the world. It's going to be able to. It's going to be a store of value for the most part, and it's not going to change anytime soon. 30, maybe 40 years from now. And guess what? I'll be an old man in a nursing home pinching nurses' butts. I won't really do that, but I was just copying off of what Eminem said. Anyway, point is that Bitcoin is going to be a store of value for a very long time. It is what it is. No country is going to stop it. Nothing is going to stop it. It is just ones and zeros out there, run on a blockchain technology. By the way, I'm gonna put blockchain up here, and I'm doing that for a reason, people. So we got we got Bitcoin as a store of value, and everybody is starting to switch over to Bitcoin. Why? Because the rich people are like, you know what? I probably need to put 2 to 5% of my $1 million into Bitcoin. That's what I'll do. So you got the rich people, they're gonna start putting 2-3%, maybe even 5% of their worth into Bitcoin. Why? Because and a lot of times what happens is people start paying attention. If you are like me and you've been paying attention to Bitcoin for a very long time and you've been laughed at for years and years and years and years and years about Bitcoin, oh, it's just trash. Oh, I'm in class talking about Bitcoin. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. It's fake money. It's all of this stuff that they're talking about. And even now, it's still alive. I'm still trying to figure out who's... I always try to tell people to think about things logically, but I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with my logic. I am kind of crazy, right? Okay, we got a store of value here. All right, so a lot of rich people, and intelligent ones anyway, are going to start saying, hey, you know what, 2, 3%, 5%. Guess who's already collecting Bitcoin? I've already had this in a different video, by the way. I talked about how over on the eastern side, they're going to really start ramping up things and starting to collect Bitcoin. Now, they're going to control their own digital currencies because that's what they're trying to do. But at the end of the day, the store of value is going to be Bitcoin. I'm telling you, the store of value is going to be Bitcoin. It is what it is. Okay? Now, let's get into some altcoins here. You guys might have noticed that, well, Bitcoin's moving up, but how come altcoins aren't moving up too much? Well, it's very simple. Because nobody trusts the altcoins right now. The only thing that's happening with altcoins is technology is improving. And it's the ones that are trusted that is going to make it. Okay? I've always said this. If you're working with an altcoin and it's just, I don't know, I can't say a strange one because it may actually be a coin. Wood coin. No, that's probably not a good idea. I don't know, baked potato coin. Whatever it is, because I think there's a tomato coin. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, whatever it is, all of these technology and I'm going to put environment and community. Sorry, I'm kind of writing sideways here, and I know it's illegible. Not really legible, excuse me. So we got a store of value for Bitcoin. Altcoins aren't really going anywhere, but what's happening is they're setting it up. They're setting it up for the ones that are going to survive, the ones that are going to make other people money. Is going to be technology, the ones that are trusted, and the ones that have strong communities. All right, so that's very important because you guys know I talk about holochain. We'll get into the different DLTs in a second. But all of this stuff is run on blockchain. And guess what? This is the next step. So right now we're working, it's the old environment and they're struggling. Governments and countries are struggling to control this stuff because they're afraid. They don't know how to frame it so they can control it in the new environment. So that's what they're trying to do. And that's why regulations are slow in coming. But they're coming, people. Trust me, they're coming. In Europe, they're coming. In Asia, they're coming. In many different places, these regulations are coming. And guess what the United States are doing? United States reminds me of that, I don't know, I guess people will call them hot cheerleaders or whatever, just chewing, smacking gum, over on the side. I mean, looking pretty, looking cute and everything. And it's like, well, I'm pretty. Okay, yeah. I just, it is what it is. I'm me and you should love me for me. And that's just is what it is. But guess what, people? No substance whatsoever. Now, I'm not saying that for all cheerleaders. If you're a cheerleader out there, I'm not saying this about you. But I'm just saying, the one that, twirling the gum, just have no idea what's going on. Guess what? That's America. That's what America looks like right now. We actually look like clumsy fools because we don't know what the hell's going on. Now, a lot of people do. But our regulators, the people that we voted to put in charge, that's the problem. We vote for these people to be put in charge because they know how to control our emotions, and therefore they know how to control the narrative. And that's why you're being used. That's why a lot of people are being used. Well, Bitcoin is bad for the environment. They have touched your soul about the environment, and you have not even looked at what the truth of the matter is. They got you. Just saying. But yes, at the end of the day, in the long run, and I've talked about Bitcoin for in my previous videos, as time moves forward, I do not think that this Bitcoin is an efficient way to do things or to store things, but it will be a store of value for a very long time to come. Now let's get into altcoins. Altcoins will have the technology. They're going to start running faster, and the ones that are making it are going to be the ones that's trusted because Bitcoin is already trusted. And some people are already trusting these sorry technologies run on blockchain, and they keep breaking down. Not naming any names, Solana and some other cryptocurrencies that they got people leaving. They got all this kind of stuff, and so the narrative is, well, you know what? Here's the deal. Cryptocurrencies just don't work. It's been around for 13, 14 years. And we got scams all over the place. Let me ask you guys something. How long has the internet been out? Are there still scams on the internet? Please tell me. How long have banks been running the show? Let me ask you something. You guys think the banks are efficient? You guys think the banks have been using their money wisely? Sorry. And that's the reason why the poor, the working class, middle class are getting pissed off and upset because we're doing things responsibly and then we're getting squatted on, and everybody else seem to be just doing whatever they want up there, and the regulators are doing whatever they want, and they ain't doing a damn thing about it, and they're just fine. They don't feel it. Just saying. Now, here's the last thing that we're going to get into, and I'll talk to you about. The altcoins are going to fly high. Bitcoin is store of value. When we get, because this year we're going to get a lot of regulations, and Bitcoin is going to go up. Bitcoin is going to go up. And some of the altcoins will go up as well, because it's going to be usher in for everyone's going to be like, well, I want to know what the next Bitcoin is. Well, we're going to have to trust a technology. And just having a strong community is not going to work. I'm sorry, Shiba Inu fans out there. It's great. I think I still have like maybe $20 in a Shiba Inu. Maybe. I don't really have a lot of crypto anyway. So, but hey, if it hits $1, it hits $1. But it is not probable. Probably not going to happen. So anyway, so with all of these things, somebody with the right technology, someone who is trusted, or technology that is trusted, and they have a strong community. And I think some of these places, they haven't got to a strong community yet because there's still question marks about these areas. We're going to get into that later as well on another different video, because I already know this video is running long. Most people haven't even stayed around, but if you stayed around, why, thank you. I also want to give a shout out. My next video, I'm going to give a shout out to everyone who has, I'm going to do it right now. Thank you guys for everyone who has been following me for all of these years, who's been following my adventure and following what I've been seeing in my research that I've been doing with cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and a lot of the altcoins, because most of you guys know that I do talk about holochain, but I also need to talk about, like I told you, I'm going to start talking about other projects as well, because our lives, for lack of a better word, our lives matter. So, damn, considering I'm black, I probably shouldn't have said that. Anyway, I'm not trying to get political. I don't want to get into that, by the way, because that's a whole nother ball game. DLTs, distributed ledger technology. So we got blockchain, we got DAG, we got holochain, we got a couple of other ones I don't even know about. I think that, whatever it is. And then you guys know that I pulled this up. I made a video and put it on, shared it on the computer and kind of read you guys the differences. But this is the reason why when we look at technology, what technology is going to be run off of blockchain? Because right now, the most trusted, I would call it, but the most trusted coin or token right now on blockchain is Bitcoin. That's the most trusted one because it's been doing what it's been doing. It's been doing what it was created for. Okay? Now we're getting to look into DAG and Holochain and all the others. And one of these is going to come out on top. They're going to have the technology. They're going to be trusted. And they're going to have a very, very, very strong community in which there's going to be a direction in which it goes. Which one will win? I'm not quite sure yet. I have high hopes for Holochain because and me personally, they have the best technology. Now, whether they can be trusted or whether they have a strong community, that's a whole other different ballgame, and that remains to be said until we actually get more. So, when we're looking at all of this, people, all of this stuff has to do with the stagflation, with everything that's happening, because everybody, you should be happy and excited right now, because if you're in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, things are going to skyrocket. And here's the thing. The rich are going to get richer every time because the rich are going to invest in Bitcoin and different cryptocurrencies. They're going to dollar. A lot of people who got rich off of Bitcoin, you guys notice them, they're YouTubers now. They're saying, oh, well, if you listen to me and, all this kind of stuff and things are going to go, this is how things are going to go and through history and the 4-year stuff. But guess what? It hasn't happened to me yet. And there's a reason why I'm not getting into my story. But the point is that I've been following Bitcoin cryptocurrencies for a very long time. And I'm trying to tell you guys that a lot of the YouTubers, they got rich from a lot of the stuff and they continue on with their research. They continue building and building and building. But one of the things that I've noticed that a lot of YouTubers are not talking about is they're not talking about the distributed ledger technologies that the blockchain, distributed ledger technology that cryptocurrency and altcoins are run on. That is something to pay attention to. Why is that something to pay attention to? Because in order for things to work more efficiently, like I said, things are going to work more efficiently than Bitcoin. But it has to be trusted more than Bitcoin, and it has to have a bigger community than Bitcoin. And this is the reason why I believe that Bitcoin will be a store of value for a very long time. To me, it doesn't make any sense for it to be a currency, because if it was a currency, then then the normal everyday person would say, I want to purchase Bitcoin, but I also want to sell it. Why would you sell something that is deflationary and not inflationary? I don't understand that. Or have a more of a solid thing. Now we can get into mutual credit currencies. I'm not getting into mutual credit currencies because that's most of that is done on Holochain. And once again, once that technology get there, and once we understand exactly how it can be trusted, and then having a community, I think it'll be there. But people, these are going to be the winners right here. These are going to be the winners. So, wow. Well, that is the reason why I think that we're going to enter a stagflationary period. A lot of people who are going to make money from Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going to, they're going to do what? They're going to buy real estate. When Bitcoin, and I said when Bitcoin reaches $150,000, $200,000, depending on the environment, but $150,000, $200,000, people are going to cash out because the altcoins are going to jump up. Some altcoins are going to go 100x. Some are going to be 50, 75x. And guess what? When they do, guess what they're going to do? They're going to put a little bit of money into Bitcoin because they're going to leave that in there for a store of value. Then they're going to go out and they're going to buy real estate. And they're going to be buying up all the properties, and they're going to play the whole property game, and depending on who you are and what your goals are. For me, I don't have a lot of money, so things I have to 100x, 200x. But if it does, I'm not making videos every day like some of these people. I have not lived my life. I have not four-wheeled yet. I haven't done a whole lot of things in my life, so I'm going out on adventures. Because I think that, you should live your life and go on adventures in life. I think you should better educate, and I will be able to better educate my kids and put them in different communities so they can see what the world is really like, so they can understand, teach them different languages. Actually, I'll probably be more strict than what I am right now, because I'm already strict with them when it comes to education. So when it comes to this stuff, people, you have to understand There's a lot that's going to be happening in the world. But let me tell you something. These rich people, they're already getting into this. And let me tell you something. This is the reason why. Because they're already into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. No matter what the government does, they're going to be able to cash out, and they're going to buy a bunch of real estate, and they're going to buy a bunch of maybe gold or other cryptocurrencies. Either way, they're going to get richer. Therefore, the rich are going to get richer. Just saying, people. Well, thank you for watching my channel. I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. I don't know where my top went. But anyway, as I always say, please, people, do your own research, do your own research, do your own research. And last but not least, above all else, because this world is about to go crazy. Please stay safe out there. Bye, you guys.